What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Here we are with another reaction. In this one, we have 4 years living in the Netherlands. Was it worth moving? Before we jump in and find out if it was worth it, I ask you guys to make sure you jump into that subscribe button, give the video a thumbs up so it gets suggested. Without further ado, let's dive right in. Oh, what's going on here? What is this? What?
For the past 4 years, Netherlands
No, the fish thing. Stop eating it. The fish thing gets me every time.
From moving here in the middle of the pandemic to starting my own business, living in a small town, and of course marrying my Dutch partner. I've had quite the journey, and I have many stories to share. Today I'm going to take you through what it's really like living in the Netherlands for the past 4 years. And yes, this win is just another typical day in the Netherlands. Look at the water going crazy. So let me give you a brief story of how I ended up here. So I am originally from India, and when I was 21 or 22, I moved to Australia for my master's degree. And there I met my now wife, I met my girlfriend Mira, and surprisingly she's from the Netherlands. And the funny part is when I was applying for my master's degree, I was applying also in Europe, Australia, also I was looking in some options in US, and then I got into a university called TU Delft in Delft in Netherlands, and I was like, oh nah, it's too cold there, so I wouldn't go. Maybe let's go to Australia, it's nice and warm, there's nice beaches. And who could have thought that I would fall in love with a Dutch girl and then I would move eventually to the beauty, the wind. I think it is getting
That's
a bit
crazy. So he turned down going to college in the Netherlands due to the weather, but chooses to go in Australia instead and meets a Dutch girl, marries her, and now moves to the Netherlands. The Netherlands was calling you, my brother.
too crazy, so maybe I'll show you around, and I'll maybe find a nice place where I can hide. The Dutch weather is very, very unpredictable, and after 4 years, it doesn't even surprise me anymore. It looks like there's some dark cloud coming again. I've experienced it all, being caught in a snowstorm, thunderstorm, and of course dealing with the rain, which has become a routine part of life here. Let's just film here. Because why not? We are in the Netherlands and let's embrace the beauty. The crazy part is, if you are doing like this in Australia, you'd be scared of 100 different animals. But here, the worst can happen is a mosquito bite. I moved to the Netherlands back in 2020 and in the middle of the pandemic, and I work as a videographer. So I work as a videographer, YouTuber now, and I also make courses about filmmaking. So I was working in Australia, with other businesses, and then I was also trying to grow my business online, and that also gave me a little bit of confidence that I can actually move to Netherlands and build my online business there, and then eventually I could get clients. But back in 2020, when COVID hit, there was barely any possibility, so I started working more on our YouTube channel. I was also teaching filmmaking online on a platform called Skillshare. If you want to check out my courses, and if you want to become a better videographer, you can check in the link in the description. And then eventually things started working out, and I was just applying for any part-time job, and I got a job as a receptionist in a hotel, because when I was a student in Australia, I was also working as a receptionist there in the beginning, and then I had a bit of experience, so I applied for a job, and luckily they accepted me. And that time my Dutch was zero, so I had no clue, but it was near Amsterdam area, so they were looking for anyone, who had a good English language skill. So that was not very difficult to find. But why am I telling you this is that because if you come here initially, there's still a lot of possibilities. There are a lot of companies who are looking for people, part-time or full-timer, because now I'm working as a full-time videographer, and I actually film a lot of videos for companies, like a recruitment video, like they are, telling in the video that, hey, this is this company, we are looking for people to work for our companies. And if you are living in big cities, then language shouldn't be a problem. Even if you are English speaker, you should be able to get a job. Anyway,
it's actually, dang, those videos actually looked really good. Shout out my guy. And this video is pretty dope. You say you gotta adjust to the weather unpredictability. Me caught in a snowstorm. There's zero chance of me being happy about that, because me and cold are just bitter enemies. We'll never get along. We'll never see eye to eye. That me and cold, we can never be friends. So I couldn't. And then on bikes, caught in a thunderstorm is absolutely crazy to me. These are experiences that I've never been caught in a thunderstorm on a bike. I can 100% say that. Caught in a snowstorm, not a snowstorm, but I've been in the snow. I ain't like it, but I've been in the snow, and it's just absolutely freezing. But so going to the Netherlands, right? Had to apply for a job, get a part-time job, and found one as a receptionist. Even though he speaks no Dutch at all, they were looking for someone who was strong in the English language. So it sounds like going over to the Netherlands, even speaking no Dutch. I know the Netherlands is probably like the one of the most proficient countries at speaking English in the EU, maybe outside, yeah, or in Europe in general, maybe outside of the UK. The Netherlands would probably be number 2 in the on the continent of Europe as speaking English. Correct me if I'm wrong. So yeah, if for an English speaker, the Netherlands seems like a dope place to go, and you wouldn't have to stress.
Eventually, my business was growing, the YouTube channel was growing. I was getting more students in my courses, and I was also getting a lot of shoots. And then I also decided to quit the job at the hotel, and now from then on, I'm just working on my own time, which is a really cool thing to have. Thanks to my work, I've actually fallen in love with the Netherlands. It has given me the chance to explore more than just big cities. Filming from my YouTube and clients has led me to some unusual but fascinating experiences. From being surrounded by the big Dutch cows to visiting crazy research centers, camping through rain and thunderstorms, and discovering charming countryside villages. This tiny country has so much to offer. Gorgeous. So there's an e-bike. So if you are in the Netherlands, you need two kinds of bike. You need a one really shitty one, so that even if it gets stolen, it's fine. And you need one really nice one so that you can go for long bicycle trips. There is a thing, right, that there's like 18 million people in Netherlands and there's like 22 or 23 million bicycles. Yeah. Learning to ride a bicycle is a huge advantage here, because with just a bicycle you can explore the entire country. That was actually one of the ways my wife and I bonded, as we used to explore Melbourne and its surroundings together by bicycles. Cycling gave us the freedom to discover hidden spots and enjoy the adventures side by side, which made it even more special. So if you want to impress your future Dutch partner, then better get good on the two wheels. I actually have to do a little groceries now. My wife has sent me a whole list, because every time she sees something, that if something is in discount, she goes crazy and she just orders a whole bunch of it.
I feel that.
Dutch people, they love discounts.
Not just Dutch people.
Every time if you see some korting or something is gratis, they go crazy. So yeah, that's what I have to do as well. So yeah, let's take you and let's show you how Dutch groceries look, and let's buy everything, whatever is in discount.
Let's do it.
So this is where we often go for a walk. There's a nice lake here. There are some people fishing. That's also really cool. That doesn't matter what city you are in. Oh, there's someone coming. Right. That's also, I see a lot of times old people, even if they're on a wheelchair, or this is called scootmobile. I don't know how exactly it is called in English, but they're a lot of times outside and doing activities. They don't limit themselves because of because they're old or disability.
Absolutely love that.
It's so cool. I went swimming this morning, and I think 90% of the people in the swimming pool were like elderly people, above 70. You see, that's what I'm talking about. How cool is that?
That
really already dope. Shows that how active the lifestyle is of people, and that's what I also experienced with my wife's parents. Like every time we are doing some activity, if we go camping together, we are cycling or visiting some small cities, or if there's an open day for some factories, we go see there's always some movement going on. And that is such a cool way to live life. But now, Let's put my Dutch to the test and see if people can actually understand me.
Doei. Hey, kan ik je helpen?
Hi, ik wil graag een pasfoto.
Dat kan. Voor wat voor document?
Voor Indiase visum.
Kan. Ga heel
Wat
even
is,
kijken. We hebben verschillende maten.
Nee, ik wil deze, de 50 bij
Deze, 50,
Ja,
50
zo, ja.
vierkant.
En hoeveel kost dat?
€14,50.
Not bad at all.
I'm not sure if that sounds very impressive.
Welke zou je willen?
Oh, dan is hetzelfde. Ja, doe maar deze.
Doen we dat.
Ja. But my Dutch learning journey has been quite an adventure. Officially,
That's good. Like put notes on everything. That would definitely help you learn the language a lot more. And he seemed pretty good. He seemed pretty comfortable communicating. Yeah, as someone who doesn't know the Dutch language, I guess I can't really sit in a position and judge him or critique it. So
I had to pass the A1 and A2 Dutch integration exams. But most of what I learned comes from everyday life in a small town, building a camper van with my Dutch family, and of course watching Dutch memes. And now, let's head to the most famous supermarket in the Netherlands, Albert Heijn.
Albert Heijn. Let's see what we got.
Get
Albert.
some this. So we have two Oude Gouden. I remember when I came here, everything was in, of course, everything is still in Dutch, and I would be so confused every time. The what to look, what to get, and still to the day, I take a lot of wrong things home. I think I'm going to take something wrong back home, and my wife would freak out. Sure. Sure means sour. Pretty easy. That's what I was looking for. In my opinion, if you're planning to live in the Netherlands, even temporarily, learning some basic Dutch word is a must. It will make your life so much easier, especially when shopping at the supermarket. So here we are, done with the groceries, and now it's time to go home. I came back home and I realized I forgot. What did I forget?
Okay.
Onions?
What did you not forget? You had to get red onions.
What did I forget, Mira? What did you not forget? Dang! Mira, you ain't gotta do it like that.
Pita bread and augurk. 3.
No, but in the beginning, when I would go to supermarket, I wouldn't understand also a lot of things. I would also bring a lot of wrong stuff.
But no. It was like, okay, yeah, but I understood. But what I was so frustrated about, if he went for a discount and then he didn't understand the discount. It was like 1 plus 2 or 2 plus 1 for free, and then he just bought 2, and then the 1 for free he skipped because he didn't understand the discount. Yeah, that was so traumatizing.
And if I didn't bring anything in discount, that would be the saddest day for me.
Yeah.
Now, let's talk about few downsides. What I thought in the beginning that they were downsides, and later on my perception changed, and now everything makes sense. In general, Dutch people are really known for their efficiency and straightforwardness. And it has started to make more sense, and now I actually really like it, and I have also kind of evolved myself in that direction because it just makes life so much easier. And now, like if I'm talking to someone and if they're not straightforward and they're just going around the bushes and talking to me, and then I'm like, man, just come to the point. And
I feel that.
I think the straightforwardness I really like, especially if you are working with other people or even with your partner. Like, if you don't like something, she would tell you, and it's also okay to not agree with other people. And like, I love it.
There you go.
It was also a bit surprising when I came here that Dutch people would always make appointments to meet. And yeah, like I would also watch a lot of YouTube videos and TikToks, and people like, oh yeah, if I have to meet someone, I have to make appointment for 2 months in advance. But in general, that's not the case, especially if you have to meet with your family or, your close friends. I think it's really normal to just meet without making an afspraak, without making an appointment. And yeah, we do as well. Like when we have to go to my wife's parents, we just go. Or if it's a nice weather and I have to film with my friend, I'm like, hey, yeah, let's catch up tomorrow and let's do it. But this making appointment thing, it also makes sense because here we all have busy lives and you can plan your schedule according to that. If you make an appointment that, okay, I have an appointment with that person, with that friend, and that time is just dedicated to that. So I am sure that I'm giving them enough time. So it makes sense for me how efficient the Dutch are on time.
I feel like I completely understand speaking directly, how it would get to a point where you're like, come on, like get to the point, like stop beating around the bush, stop talking in circles, actually get to the point. Nobody's being offended. You can tell your partner or anybody else if you don't agree with them, or if you don't like this or you don't like that, just be straightforward about it. That it would be extremely awesome. Now, in saying that, I am not one who usually speaks directly. It could be because of the environment I was raised in, society, everything. I do tend to try to deliver, I guess, bad news in the best way possible instead of just coming straight forward and saying it. Try to kind of put a spin on it to make it sound not as bad. Or if you don't like something, you try to figure out how to tell them in the most polite way possible instead of like, hey, I don't like it. Not a fan. So instead of saying, hey, like, let's say food, like, hey, I don't like this food. Maybe somebody took the time to cook it for you. Hey, I don't like it. I'd be like, hey, this is good. I'm not the biggest fan of this spice or this, or I'd be like, it's really good. It's just, I guess it's not for me. You try to figure out how to say it in the nicest way possible if you can. And when it comes to disagreeing with people nowadays, especially here in the U.S., people are so sensitive and butthurt if you don't agree with them, and it turns into a full-blown argument. And I'm not one to argue. I'm one to, if we kind of go back and forth a little bit, hey, let's just agree to disagree. We just see things differently. Neither of us are wrong. We just see it differently.
And with time and how much they respect your time, that's really, really good. And now
I do like efficiency.
If I have to work with someone from different culture, if I see that they don't respect my time, that's also has become a bit of turn off for me. So yeah, time is, I think, it's really important. I think it should be important for everyone.
Time is the most valuable thing any of us people have on earth. Time, right? Because we have such a limited amount. Time. So I guess not respecting someone else's time, or that's one of the worst things that you can do, because time is one thing where we can never get back. So you respect other people's time. You be where you say you're gonna be when you say you're gonna be there. You do what you say you're gonna do when you say you're gonna do it. Don't play with time. I hate people like being late. I hate being late. It's annoying. It's frustrating.
I don't know why it is not like that all around the world. The whole world would be so efficient like the Dutchies. And of course, the Dutch food. So the Dutch food is also, I think, kind of efficient. When I was a bit shocked. When my wife told that Dutch people, they just eat like a cold lunch, like just sandwich or bread with cheese, or bread with cheese and tomato and some spread. That's what Dutchies do. And they just, pack their bread, and they're just riding bicycle and eating bread so they can save time and be at where they want to be on time. But one real downside is it is expensive. But I think it goes really hand in hand that in a lot of countries where the pay is good, the living expenses are more.
True.
But in a lot of countries, if the pay is not that good, you can also live for cheap. True. Here as well, it is the same. True. And Dutch people are really good in saving money. So even if you come here and you're a bit cheap, people would appreciate you. Like in other countries, in other cultures, the more expensive things you wear, or the more you spend, the more cool you are. That, hey, look, I spent this much on my yacht, or I've spent this much on my clothes. I buy this much expensive clothes. But the Dutch people, they brag about how much discount they got. So you're like, oh, that's a nice t-shirt. Oh, yeah? You like it? I got it for discount, 15%. And the other person's like, 15%? That's not a good discount. If it's 50 or over, then it's a good discount. It's like every time, if Mira,
that's not
I hope she doesn't listen, every time she buys something, her first impulse reaction would be, oh, I was on such a good discount, so that's why I buy it. So yeah, if you are cheap, Netherlands is your place. You would be appreciated, my friends. In general, the society here focuses a lot on happiness as well.
Love that.
Like every time if it's a nice weather, you see everyone outside enjoying with their friends, with their families. There are kids playing in the water. There are just people going camping. It is just so cool to just see that people find their own way of enjoyment and they are really doing it. But yeah, the one problem which lies, and I think a lot of foreigners would experience, is that it's not that easy to integrate in a Dutch society unless you don't really speak fluent Dutch. And as I said before, that if my wife was not Dutch, it would be twice as hard for me to integrate in the society. But
I feel that.
I am assuming that if you're coming here, you're not going to live in Lelystad or more remote areas. You would be living in cities, and in a lot of cities there are a lot of expats, a lot of foreigners. So yeah, there is still a lot of room to make friends. When I actually moved here, I couldn't really see myself living here for long term. Me and my wife would always say that, yeah, maybe we build a small house in the mountains or so. But now the more I spend time in the Dutch society in Netherlands, the more I see myself living here, the more I see my kids growing up here, the more I see myself getting old here, riding the scootmobile in the park or go to swimming every weekend.
That's so awesome.
Yeah, it's crazy. There's like 95% of old people in the swimming pool. If you know the reason, please let me know. That why was there barely any young person in the swimming pool? That was it for the video. And if you enjoyed it, give a like. And if you have any questions, you can reach out to us on Instagram or leave them down in the comments. And we'll see you in the next one.
It honestly sounds like the Netherlands has really grown on him, and he's learned to absolutely love it. I love the efficiency, the directness. I think those are incredible things. And he said if the world ran like the Netherlands, right, we'd be a lot more efficient. So I don't understand why we don't. I love you can be appreciated for being cheap, because I am very cheap. I like to save all the money because you never know what's going to hit you in life. I was always raised with the mentality of it's not if anything's gonna happen, it's when it's gonna happen. So be prepared for when it happens. So I like to have the bank account prepared for any situation. But that was absolutely awesome. Let me know how much you guys enjoyed that. If you did, don't forget to subscribe, give the video a thumbs up. Check out the next one. I'll see y'all next time.